So Battlefield 2042 Season 5 has just released, and I went into this one pretty blind. I hadn't really read much about what they were going to add in. And I actually hadn't played Battlefield for a fair old while, and I've got to say I was surprised by the amount of change they have made, and also by how good those changes have been so far. Now, you have always got to take that with a pinch of salt with Battlefield, because unfortunately you've got to take it with perspective of this game is almost 2 years old now, and some of the stuff they added in for this season, it just beggars belief that they didn't add that in before they released the game. And unfortunately, you've got to bring that up because we have witnessed essentially the development of a AAA game before our eyes. But I don't want to linger too much on that. I want to get into Season 5 and what it's added and what I think of it so far. I've only played it for a couple of hours, but what's immediately noticeable and something that stood out to me big time in the patch notes was the fact that they've added more bullet spread to the assault rifles. And I never thought I'd say this in a million years, but I'm actually happy to see bullet spread. Battlefield 2042 assault rifles are way too good long range. I not used a sniper rifle for the longest time because there's just no point previously in Battlefield 2042. If I want to take someone out over in the distance, I'll just easily control the recoil and take them out with an assault rifle. And my ideal scenario is kind of what Battlefield 5 did, which was increase the recoil, don't have much bullet spread. For whatever reason, they don't seem to like doing that all the way back to Battlefield 3. They love their bullet spread. And actually, it's made a big difference. I've used a bit of a sniper rifle in Battlefield 2042 for Season 5. It seems much more of a viable option. It's still kind of easy to take out people from range with an assault rifle, which I think highlights how much it needed this change, because even now, and I think they changed it by about, it's 15 to 20% increased the dispersion, which is a big amount. And I think the maximum dispersion happens when you get halfway through your magazine. So if you're just holding down that trigger, going full auto, which is what you would typically do in this game, then you'll get punished. So it encourages more of that burst fire type of play for longer range engagements, which seems much more of a reasonable thing to have in the game. So that one, to be honest, for me was like a huge change. I didn't realize they were going to be doing that. I think it's going to change how the game feels. Unfortunately, they haven't done it for LMGs yet, or SMGs. I think they've just done it for assault rifles, but it sounds like they're going to be working on the other weapon classes as they go through this season as well. So that was a great addition. They also changed how sprinting feels. I don't think they've actually changed the sprinting mechanics at all. I could be wrong, but it definitely felt a lot better. It felt less like you're floating along, kind of skipping around the map. It felt like you've got a bit more weight, a bit more inertia about you. So I think whatever they've done for the movement, maybe it is just a camera change, makes it feel a lot better. It makes me not want to just charge in there as much and play a bit more cautiously. And I wouldn't have thought that just changing the camera could do that, but I don't think they've changed the movement mechanics. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen anything about them actually changing the movement mechanics. It seems like it is just the camera stuff, and it genuinely does change how I play the game. So that was a nice addition to have in there. The classic thing with a new update, there's a new map. I'm really enjoying the new map at the moment. It's great. I didn't like the last one, the Season 4 one. I can't remember what it's called now that much when it came out, but this one I'm really enjoying. I love a snow map as well. It's kind of like Zavod from Battlefield 4, if you ever played that. It's kind of got that kind of tone to it. One thing I would say is that the tickets are a little low. The games are over a bit too quickly, and I'd love for them to increase that. That's one of the biggest things I miss about community servers, was just having really long games on Battlefield. I'd like my game to be about half an hour. I think on average my games are ending in around 10-11 minutes, something like that. So I like them to increase the tickets, at least for that map. It seems to be over way too quickly. And I've played it on Conquest and Breakthrough, and both of them seem really good fun. Plenty of variety in there, and it was just a great map. It also added in some new weapons, and this time round I'm genuinely interested in unlocking the weapons. Sometimes I don't really care about them. They've got some classics: RPG, Desert Eagle, something called GW46, which is basically a G36, and also a sniper. Sniper being the one that I least care about, but the others look cool. I really can't wait to use them, and I'm looking forward to unlocking them. On the weapons front, probably the bigger change they've made is they've added in some weapon attachments, Battlefield 2042 weapon attachments to the Vault weapons, making them a bit better, so you're not as at much of a disadvantage using the Vault weapons as you used to be, and just adds a bit more variety to them, which actually makes a really big difference because you're basically just expanding the amount of weapons that are available by making a relatively easy change to those weapons. So a lot more people are going to be using the Vault weapons. It makes it seem like there's a lot more variety in the guns that you can pick, which was a big criticism when Battlefield 2042 first released, the lack of weapons. But now those Vault weapons are viable options. You've got a good variety of weapons. You can also change their camouflage, which actually does make a bit of a difference, being able to do that. I didn't think I really classed myself as someone that cared that much about camos, but it actually is pretty nice having that option to change them. And on the map front, I should also mention that they are going to be working on an Hourglass rework, which I think will be the last map they need to rework of the originals, and that should be coming later in Season 5, which will be great because that map is terrible. Well, I suppose I'll probably be getting into some of the more smaller stuff now, but some of this smaller stuff can make quite a big difference, but it's probably this area which I think I cannot believe it's taken them almost 2 years to make these changes, but nonetheless I am glad they are there now. And one of those is squad management, being able to easier join a squad with your friends and see who's in other squads and things like that. And yeah, it looks nice, and just in general they've made some UI changes which makes a difference, just always ticks it towards being a better game. I could swear they've changed some voice lines, and also there's been some audio changes, like footsteps, I think they say in their patch notes, depending on the gear you've got on and potentially depending on the specialist, you sound different when running around the map. I think the audio's been good. I think they might have changed some weapon sounds as well, so just general like quality of life improvements that have just made the game feel better overall. And for all you Breakthrough fans, they've made a few changes, like things like the trophy system or the Sentinel, shoot down Sentinel. They've made that have more of a cooldown, so you can't just park it next to a tank and just dominate from on a Breakthrough map without taking any incoming fire, which I haven't yet tried out. I hope they've nerfed it a decent amount, because that is just so frustrating when someone just camps on a hill with a trophy system next to their tank, and it makes some Breakthrough games unplayable. So hopefully that's been a decent nerf and you're going to get less of that kind of campy tank business. We've got a new season, got new menu music. I really like it. It's what you'll be hearing in the background of this video. For me, I always think music makes a big difference, a bigger difference than perhaps other people might think. But yeah, for me, it's a good one, and Battlefield 2042 music has been dreadful for the most part. So it's been nice to have that good menu music in there. And also something smaller is they've got kind of loading screen game tips when you're loading it into a map, and once again, I hate to just sound like a broken record, but I just cannot believe they didn't have that kind of thing in the game when it released, and the fact that they're thinking about adding that stuff in at this point in development, yeah, it's bizarre. So I don't really know how I should feel about this update. Because on the one hand, I've been really enjoying Battlefield 2042 at the moment is definitely my favourite Battlefield, and I do go back to Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 5, and 2042 is still my favourite, so I'm enjoying it. Obviously I know it's just a shell of what it could have been, and it's, you know, you don't want to praise it too much because you hope that they're going to learn the lessons and realise that people are unhappy with what they've done with the Battlefield franchise. But yeah, I just don't know. At least they've got a season 6, probably going to be the last season if I was a betting man, and then we're going to be getting the new Battlefield at some point, and good lord, I hope they are much more prepared with that game. One disappointing thing is the graphics. Going back to this game, I forget how bad the graphics are. Cannot believe how you can butcher graphics like that. I still don't know why. I'm sure someone's done a deep dive into this and got some good reasons. I still don't know why they changed the game engine to something which is clearly inferior, except for in maybe a handful of ways that aren't that important. But the graphics look terrible. I really thought I must have had my graphics on low, so I went to change it in the game options, and I saw I had all my graphics on ultra. I don't think that's something that's changed since the update. I think it's just, yeah, whatever reason, the new game engine is terrible. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one, guys. I thought I'd just quickly cover some of the what my thoughts were on Season 5. I'm just checking to see if I've missed anything out. Oh, they've made a couple of changes to some specialists which are underutilized. I think those are... you can now use zipline with your shield, which looks pretty cool. I actually want to try that. I think the movement's just a bit better with the shield. Other than that, I think I've pretty much covered everything I've been aware of. Let me know if you think I've missed anything. And yeah, like I said, I have been enjoying Battlefield. I'll probably play more of it. I'll probably do some more videos of it if you guys are interested. And I'd love to know what you guys think of Season 5. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. And let me know what you think of it down below. Cheers, guys.